Good morning. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Well, 2 years ago, I started thinking about what will really be the future of design. And what I came up with after interviewing over 50 people and reading the works of even some of your Chinese scholars such as Herenka and others, I came up with lists of things that were important to our future, and especially for the younger people of design. This is an old picture that is supposed to be of the future, and it was done by Sid Mead over 60 years ago. And it looks very happy, and we're enjoying life and having a good time. And that is what he envisioned our future today would be like, but it looks very old. And then I went to CAFA and saw a student exhibition and was just amazed at this image. And if some of you don't recognize it, it is of the Last Supper. And it struck me as very, very serious. And this was done by a Chinese graduate student. And I was so impressed, but I looked at this and I thought, is this the Last Supper of humanity in space? And if it is, I'm hoping all of you can change that future. We don't want the last generation of our human race to be having their Last Supper. This is an example of an ancient Chinese mug, and even 2,000 years ago, the innovation was tremendous. If you look at the hook, the thumb rest on the piece, but it's really the cup, the lid that is just magnificent. When you turn it over, it becomes a saucer or a plate. And just a brilliant, brilliant, super early Chinese design. And so I have always been fascinated with design in China and had written an earlier book called China's Design Revolution, because I really believed that China, once they really got involved in design, could really contribute to the world. And with the DIA competition, I can see that that has happened. So it's very exciting for us. So, do we want to keep our beautiful experiences for design? Yes, I think we want to keep beauty. We want to keep things functional. Yes, we want to keep things functional. So we want to keep our products sustainable. Yes, we want to keep sustainability. Culturally appropriate, like Professor Renke was speaking. Do we want to keep that? Yes, for the future. We must keep all of these. But are great experiences all of it? No. There's going to be so much more, as you can see. And I tried to catalog some of the things that what would be coming. So our own design process, we need to look more at the design reasoning. How do we think about what are our beliefs? Why are we designing things a particular way? Is there bias against something? More complex research methods. As we start to increase all of our technology, our research methods have to expand and become sharper in order to get the best information. Big data. We're already using and seeing big data being used by companies to help design. Designers of the future will start to be given big data. But the thing as designers is we have to understand, is that big data going to sway our opinion or not? And we know that new technologies will be here for everything. Augmented reality, artificial reality, virtual, these are just some of the realities that are coming. And so we need to understand how we interact and interface with all of these. We may shift from augmented reality to virtual reality back to our, we could switch and move into these different interfaces in the future. But how do we design for that? How do we know how people will feel? What will their experience be? So you can see that this is all becoming very, very complex. Robotics, new materials, new sensors. Ethics, very important. How do we want to be treated? Should we be telling companies? Yes, we should tell our companies we want to be treated in a particular way. Today, in the United States, we're telling Facebook we don't like to have our privacy invaded. So, again, it happens around the world. And cultural mining for trends, problems, and opportunities. The work that Renke is doing for Professor Renke for cultural, it's a cultural mining that will help us truly understand the deeper issues of people and so we can better design for them. And the manufacture of less things. We're looking now at not manufacturing a lot of things. A lot of things will go into software, and so how do we plan for not manufacturing a lot of things? And that's going to be a big question for China, because that will be in the future and down the road. So questions. How will new technologies affect our products and services? What types of research will be needed to fully access the new technologies? How will we help design for artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and so on? It's very important that some of these diverge along with our research processes. How do we introduce ethics in a larger way? What new skills do we need for sensing devices? Touch, heat, sound, visual, gestural interfaces. And how do we teach these new tools and methods to you, and how will you teach those new tools and methods when you are a teacher? Lao Shu. How do we teach requirements, guidelines? The other thing is, what can be removed from our curriculum? This is for the design educators. We're very good at putting new things in, but not taking some of the older things out. And then for managers, what's going to be added to the activities for the design managers? So I wanted to just give you that listing of, those are the key points for what will be coming in the future, but the word to remember is complexity. Your lives will become very complex, but it can be overwhelming, and you have to maybe concentrate on just a few areas and become expert in that area. So maybe you really become expert in artificial intelligence and design, or new interfaces and design, or cultural materials and design. So, in other words, as it becomes more complex, you can focus and become expert in your area. So, 谢谢。